Hello, Slitherlinker. I moved on to a larger puzzle because they have some really interesting um, patterns and things, and it's a little bit more of a challenge. Like the bigger they are, the more challenging they are for sure. But I realized that it makes the numbers smaller, which can be harder to see on screen. So I hope it works for you. All right, let's start this one. All right, what can we see? This one's got that two ones in a corner. So we can eliminate those sides. Got some zeros here. Got some zeros here. This is really Crazy Dad's stuff is really I like to play it on iPad with my little pencil. That works really well for me. There's another zero. When they're this big, I don't always see all the like zeros and obvious things. So it's always an adventure. Oh, here's another zero. Speaking of which. Do, 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 do. Okay. Well, I can certainly see that this one gets a segment like that. This 3 next to a 0, 3 next to a 0 here, and a magic 2. We have a pair of 3s. Do our usual thing there. Got some 3s in the corners of zeros here. Got another couple over here. Also got a pair of diagonals. Whoops. Undo. So make sure they're bracketed, facing each other, and then I have a stack of 3s here, and another diagonal pair. Finish that too. Okay. Got some 2s and 3s hanging out here. Probably something will come of that. Got some 3s in a stack. And over here. Oh, look, I got another 3 here in the corner. All right. Everything else cool for now. Got a pair of 3s over here with 2s on the outside. And this one is done. Okay. And then another pair of 3s. All right, so here's a 1 in a corner, essentially. You know what got to do with those. Yeah, and that takes care of this one too, meaning that it pairs down the options. But it does solve this 2 here, which gives us this magic 2, and solves these 3s. Cool. Oh, and we got the segment leading into a pair of 3s. It gives us a nice windy guy like that. And another magic 2. And another magic 2. Which solves this 1 and this 2. Cool, cool. Alrighty. Alright, let's go down here. Okay, we got a corner, 3 and a corner. Now it could be facing down or it could be facing right. Either way, we'll still be able to solve this 2, and this 2 for that matter. So I'm not going to make any decisions about that just yet. Stack of 3s here. Whoops. Stack. Well, that is right, but let's do this logically. Okay, with a 2 on the outside. Okay, it's good. Good. We got 3s here. I should probably put some music on this so that's not quite so horrible. And not that it's that bad, but probably better with music. Running around, looking at everything. Not seeing anything. There's probably some genius watching this going like, oh, why doesn't she do the blah, blah, blah? Well, congratulations, smarty pants. You're smarter than me. Oh, here we have 3 crosses, We can make that 4, because if it's not 2, if it's more than 2, it's got to be 4. Okay, we have this segment coming off this 3 is either going to have to go right or down, which means that's going to be the solution of one of the ones, not one of those two, so we can easily get rid of that. Anything else super obvious? Whenever I see 2s and 3s that are diagonal, my brain goes, that's something, even if I can't solve it quite yet. Oh, here we have a 1 in a corner. So these 2 make a corner, so we can eliminate those 2 sides because it couldn't come around that way. But that we also get a solution for this 2 and this pair of 3s and this 1, in fact, and that 2. Great. And that has to curve around that way, and that has to come down this way. So that pair of 3s is solved. This 1 is also solved. And look at that, this 2 as well. And that 2 as well. Great. Okay, this 2 ends up with 2 x's, so that gets a shape like that. And that 1 is solved as well. That's got to come up somewhere. Okay. Oop, that's got to come down. And that can't go that way, can't go that way, so it's got to go that way. And we have 3 x's, make that 4. We've got a solution for those couple of 2's. And this has to go somewhere, so it's going to go that way, which puts that one off that way. Solves that 2, solves that 3. Fantastic. Okay. Oh, look, we've got some diagonal 3's here I didn't see before. Didn't see the forest for the 3's. Okay. Yes. That puts this 1 in a corner, so I can X off those sides, which lets us know how that's going to work, and this 2 as well. And that 2 as well, and this 1 as well. Okay. Doing good. Oh, got 3 x's. Let's put our 4th there, which gives us a solution to that too. Oh, this 1 has been solved. That's nice. Yeah. One of the things that I'm looking for on 3's is when there's a segment poking into it and you have that bracket thing. It can also be true if you have a 2 and a 3 that are diagonal and the segment is poking into the 2 that transfers to the 3 because of their special relationship. Oh, look here, it's a 2 I didn't spot before. That's done. All right. Don't see any rogue 3 pairs or anything. And I think it is time to start shading. Unless I see anything. No, I don't see anything that is giving me any more moves. So I'm going to start shading. Start by shading inside the loop. And that we know what's inside the loop because there's a line on the edge that tells us. And then everything else is about skipping over that next layer. I call it a layer cake. Oh, here's this thing on the edge with the 3's. Tells us. That's important because it tells us like what color this 3 is, right? Because this is out, this is inside, outside, inside, outside, which makes that inside, like that. All that is outside. Cool. All right, what else? So these are outside. Just want to finish up that other side before I move on to anything new. Okay. Now, anything clearer because of this? Yes, we got the directions on this. There we go. And of course, like that. Let's get our shading in. Okay, so the thing I was saying before in a previous video about seeing the pathways, that's true of the situation here where you can see this inside the loop has to connect with the rest of the the land mass, let's just call it, right? So I know I can see that this pathway is going to come around this way. And then how does it connect? Well, because this one is on the edge and it's inside the loop, that's going to tell me that this segment is the line and those are the crosses. So that gives me the rest of that shape like that. And my blue gets out to the edge, which is fantastic. And I can finish that up like that. So that's what I mean about watching the pathway and how that can help you. All right. Wow, this is a big puzzle. It's taking a long time. All right, let's see what else I can see. Just kind of gaming things out in my mind. Oh, here's a 2 we can do. Oh, that's helpful. So we got 2 yellows, 2 blues, like that. Again, we have this 1 that has 2 possibilities on this side, but we know that there's going to be no line on that side because of the way that works, which I explained before. So if you missed that, you can go back and grab that. All right, now I really wish I could get this whole chunk to connect with the edge because that would help me to start shading it in. You know, if I knew what was going on. Well, I know that's not true because then that can't connect. If this 3 was open to the left, then this 2 would be a magic. So this is and it's not. It can't be. So I know that this can't open to the left. So it's like that. So this is actually an example of that phenomenon that I was talking to you about earlier, where you have a diagonal 3 and 2, and the segment pokes the corner of the 2, and you go to the other side of the diagonal of the 3, and that gets that bracket shape, which is similar to, it's the same thing as when you have a 3 and you get a segment poking in the corner and you get the opposite. The opposite gets a bracket. All right, so at least that tells me that is like that. We got something to the edge there. Now how it connects remains to be seen. So let us perhaps move on. Let's see. I want to think about this 2 down here. I can make it, if this 3 opened to the right, and then this left segment of the 2 would be bad news for this other 2, right? Because it would have to have 3 segments in order to continue. So it can't. The other way it can open is down. So let's do that. And there again, we have 3 X's. We can make that 4. And here we have the line poking into the 3 to make a corner bracket. So that's good. And this also connects with the edge, which tells us finally which parts of these are inside and outside the loop, which is so very helpful. And, you might as well grab a meal while we're watching. This is going to take a while. Okay. That was helpful, I guess. I'm still going slow here, though. All right, well, here's another thing. Like this landmass, as I like to call them, no islands, right? So this can't be blue. If this was blue, we'd have an island, so it's not blue. It's yellow. Which means we can solve this segment right here. Look at this. Look at all that. That's fantastic. Oops. It's not what I meant to do. Maybe right, maybe wrong. But it wasn't intentional, so. All right. Oops. Getting a little sloppy here. I hope I don't have to explain everything. This is stuff I've already explained, right? Okay. Still don't know which way this goes. So I'm going to leave it. However, I do know that one. Oh, look at that gives us. So this is the thing about zeros. The zero shape for shading is just a cross, which is very gratifying. Feels good to do that. Okay, and this 1 is on the edge, right? So that gives us our 1 solution. Okay, now we finally have a thing. Oh, can't resist just doing this here. Oh goodness, this is lots of stuff there. But I'm looking at the 3 that's over here. Okay, so this 3 has 1 implied blue neighbor, 1 yellow neighbor, and because we got the segment poking, we can do that. Okay, so 1 blue, 1 yellow also means that one of the other 2 is not going to be the opening. It's the opposite logic from 1s. 1s and 3s have this opposite nature. We also have shading that we can continue around there. So that gives me the solution right there. So that's good. All right. Here we are. Brilliant. Okay. And now the only reason that I know that this 2 is blue is why? No lakes. There we go. It's the no lakes rule. All right. Let's get back to this stuff over here that started going pretty well. Got 2 with 2 blue. So that's a yellow. 0 is a cross shape like that. This blue has to get out to the edge. And that gives us all this stuff here. Very nice. Awesome. And then this is a yellow here. This is a blue here. Cool. All right. Oh, I got a blue here. So again, I have a 3 with a yellow and a blue. So this 3 is either going to be yellow, in which case this is going to be the open segment, or it's going to be blue, in which case this is going to be the open segment. So I know that neither of these is the open segment, which solves for both of these ones. There we go. And this too. Keeping that from closing down. So this game is it's all logic, but it's also, there's a right brain aspect to it where these patterns that I'm explaining, they become unconscious or subconscious, other than conscious. And you just do them when you see them, but they're not necessarily like spelled out step by step in your head, right? So, like, I'll give you an example. Right now, I see this one and I see this three, and I see that this one has like 3 blanks next to it like this, and it's kind of carved out from the blue. I'm like 900% sure that this is yellow at this point, that these ones are yellow. They don't have to be by what I'm looking at right now. They could be blues. Like this could be a yellow thing that goes this way, and this could close up this way, But I don't think so. And it's about the way that these shapes use space. They very rarely do you have a dot that doesn't have a any segments coming from it. Remember, it's either 0 or 2, and it's very rare to find one that has 0. And the reason that is largely has to do with what it takes to make the solution unique. Just like Sudoku, Slitherlinks each have a unique solution, which means that there's no area on here that could go either way. Like, oh, this 2 could either be inside or outside the loop. Either way, the puzzle is solved. That's not Slitherlink. If it is, that's just not a proper puzzle. And if it's been drawn that way, you should ask for your money back. There is a solution either way. And so sometimes you will even find like, well, it looks like I could do this or I could do this, but only one of them is actually unique, and that's not an adequate explanation. So if I come across one of those, I will point it out. But that same phenomenon of uniqueness often makes maximum use of the grid like that. So here, like if we look in here, like the minority of dots have no segments, right? So it's like the urge to follow this line like that is, pretty tremendous after you get to know what these things usually look like. But I'm going to wait until I actually have logic behind my decision so that I don't end up making a mistake just out of an impulse. Or I can turn on auto check answers and just have it check me. And if I'm willing to be wrong on video, I can try that out. Oops, that's the wrong tool. See, there we go. So I think that's the benefit of doing a lot of these, as you start to see the shapes, the way the shape feels like it should go. It's kind of like knowing a language when you know when it sounds wrong or when it sounds right. Like, look at this one here. Look at this. It's gotta be blue. You want to bet? Okay, lay your bets. I'm gonna try it. Yeah, it's blue. It's just because of the way that the space is used, and it just looks right to me. There's no logic behind that, except if it's sort of a deep, fuzzy, intuitive kind of logic. Is that right? This one, yeah, that's going to have to be, because again, these pathways have to be like, you can think of it as like 1 paving stone thick. That's why I did that. Okay. Oops. Doodaloo. All right. Well, I'm not explaining everything, but I hope you can see my reasons behind these moves. A lot of it just has to do again with doing what I can in this space that I've got. Okay, gosh, we're about halfway, a little more than halfway, it looks like. Whew, everybody, yeah, maybe take a break, pause, and, do some sun salutations or something. All right. Okay, let's see if we can get this going again. I feel like I made so much progress just now, and now I'm like, phew, okay. All right, so here I have a landmass that needs to connect to the larger one, and this one that needs to connect to a larger one, the larger one, and this one still needs to connect, but it's all of these here, these 4 all need to connect somewhere in here, but it's not clear at the moment whether it's going to be around that way or around this way, so that's not enough information to go on. Let's see, is there anything that I haven't done over here yet? Okay, here's an idea. So I can't actually go around like this because then it would close off and make an island. So I know that that is a segment right there just by process of elimination, which gives me a little bit more information right here. So that gives it a couple ways to connect with the larger shape. So then, yeah, so sometimes logic is playing what if. What if I did this versus what if I did that? Okay, so like here, this 3 and this 1. If this 3 opens up, then this 1 is on this side. If this 3 opens to the right, then either this line continues this way or the line is on this way, right? So either way, in any case, there's going to be no line on the top of the one, because this one either goes this way, either boop, boop, like that, or this one goes down here, like that. And in no scenario can I solve this 3 and have a line here. So that's good. It's good information. Because there we go. So now I know what color or what inside or outside status we have for that one. That's good. I got one square. Okay. All right. So this 3, I'm just like, what if it's blue? If it's blue, it could connect like with the pathway around that way. That would work, and that would be okay with this too. If it could connect around that way. And then I could have yellow, yellow, and then yellow, yellow. Yeah, that would work for that too as well, and everything would still be connected. So that doesn't help. And if this 3 was open upward, then I'd have this line here. And if I keep going around like that, I think if this one opened upward, which makes it a yellow, that this is not good. It's not good for this section here. And I don't think it's going to work for this too. It might work for that too. But I'm going to take a risk and do this. No, I'm wrong. It does open upward. Wait, so let me see. Okay, so if it opens up. Okay, so then this is blue, and then this is yellow around here, and then there would have to be some blue in here. That's fine. Okay. I see. I was wrong. Oh, wow. You know, this is the time when I need to walk away from this puzzle. I'm still trying to solve it as I say that. Because I'm not seeing what to do next. I'm not seeing anything that is going to make that big a difference. Any sort of forced moves. I got a nice big line of twos that aren't doing me any good. Boy. Well, I'm just going to leave it there. I think I'm giving up. Is that helpful? Oh, well, there's one thing. So here's a segment that is pointing at this 2, which is diagonal from this 3. So that goes like that. Does that help at all? I don't know. Oh no, I'm looking for that same pattern in other places. There are millions of patterns, and that's what like people who design games base their stuff on. All right, let's look at this one. So I've got this segment coming down here and this segment coming down here. So I know that it's possible that the solution is here. But if this one decides to, this line here decides to take a move this way, then this one would have to go this way. So it could be, this one could be the solution. Now what if this line decided to go this way? Well, then this one would be a loose end. So it can't go that way. So I can do that. That's interesting. And so the solution is either on this side or on this side. So I can also X out that side of the 1. Does it help? Not at the moment. All right. Anything else? Oh, this is maddening. Okay. I think I'm going to just leave this one here and come back and solve it later on my own time. Just admit defeat for the moment. Sometimes when I've been staring at them this long, I just gotta walk away. Gotta walk away and come back. Or if I'm not being a purist about it, what I could do is just make a couple of guesses on how some of these things are solving. Oh, I see something. And then that way, if I guess, maybe get a little bit of, oh, well, that doesn't work. So, I got an extra yellow there. That's not good. If I guess, then that's not a blue. Then I know I can get like a little bit of momentum. So that is a blue here. That is a yellow here. And this one either goes this way and this is a yellow, or this way and this is a yellow. I don't know yet. But that's good. This is good to start here. And that goes there. Every time I try to give up, I see a little something. It's not going to last forever, though. Yeah, so sometimes I try to guess to get myself out of a jam. And since I have auto check answers on, it will tell me whether my guess is wrong or right. I always feel a little dirty when I do that because, it's not logic. And you should be able to solve the whole puzzle with logic. Patterns are just shorthand for that logic that make things go a little faster, but it's still logic. Okay, well, unfortunately, that didn't really help too much. I got a couple of solutions that way. Huh. All right. Last call for sudden inspiration. All right, I can look at this combination here, this 2 and 3. So this 2 is either going to solve as a corner thing like this, in which case this is going to be a corner like that, or a bracket, Magic 2 style, or it's going to solve like this top and bottom, in which case it's either going to open to the left or it's going to open to the bottom. Okay, so if it opens to the left or it opens to the bottom, then the top and the right get shaded. If it's the other way, the bottom left gets shaded to start with, filled in. I mean, boy, that doesn't help. It could go either way. I need, see, this is like when we need constraints. Constraints tell us how these things are solved. When it could go either way all the time, it goes nowhere. And when it comes to creativity, I am a fan of working with constraints or restraints. Oh, here's a thing. Here's a 1 in a corner, so I can exit like that. Okay, that gives me the solution to this 2, this 3, and this 1, and that really, really helps. Yay. Okay, that was accidental. Didn't mean to zoom like that. I guess I just got real excited. Okay. Ta-da. Getting all these 2s going on. Yay. Okay. Phew. Okay, now I know which way these are going. That's good. Okay, so this one is done. So that is going to be like that. Awesome. 2 needs the blues. And this blue has to come out, so I'm going to draw it like that with its opening like that, which means this 3 to the second yellow on the 2 makes a 3, and that goes like that, and that goes like that. Oops. There we go. All right, now we're cooking. See, now I'm glad I stuck with it. All it took was seeing that 1 in a corner like that. Not that I'm not about to get stuck again. It's definitely possible, but that was a real good thing that happened. It was real good. Okay. Got 2 needs another yellow. 1, you know what we gotta do there? Like that. And make sure that connects. All right. Got some solutions and a magical 2. And let's just finish the shading. And we got a 1 that has that constraints on 2 sides, so we can X the other 2. And now we know which way the 1 goes. 2. And the 3. And this 2. And this 3. And this 2. Let's finish the shading. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Awesome. All right. What am I looking at there? Is that a nope, that can't. So this 3 can't open up because the 2 can't do its magical mystery 2 thing. Corner. Forced corner thing. Yeah, it's looking good. Boy, if you have watched this entire thing, you're amazing. Okay. In order to get all the way around this 2, I'm going to have to go up and around. And that's going to have to connect somehow. Alrighty. What do we got over here? Solve that too. Ooh, I love this. This is so great. I bet you this totally isn't necessary. But I love it. Now we're getting down into the difficult corner. And we have some solutions happening. Awesome. Before I get back to those 2s, I want to show you something about this 3 here. So this 3 it has 1 implied blue and 1 yellow. So one of those 2 sides is going to be the open side. So we can put segments on the other 2 sides. Why is that so? It's just like the 1. So 3 is either, if this is yellow, then it opens this way and the other 3 sides are closed. If it's blue, it opens out and the other 3 sides are closed, but we don't know which way. But if it's a yellow on one side and a blue on the other side, we know for sure that that is going to be, one of those is going to be the open side. So we can mark the other 2. Okay, back up to these 2s here. This 1 connects on those 2 sides, which gives us a nice train of magic 2s like this. Choo choo. There we go. Got a nice 3, nice 2. Everything is so nice. There we go. Okay, this is going to be a yellow one over here. And there we go. There's our answer on that 3. Now I finally got that 1 filled. Okay, let's go back and do some shading. Make this clear. Sweet. And when I was making some lines over here, it was because I could see that this 2 needed another yellow, which was inside the loop. And so that pathway of that loop had to connect. Okay, let's finish this over here. Oh my God, I'm going to finish this puzzle. I was so ready to give up. But you stuck with me, and we did it. We did it. Oops. I wonder what the quote will be at the end. Oh, I want to finish the shading before the lines. Oops. Why? Because then it's nice and pretty when I'm done and it says congratulations. No other reason than that. Bam. Oh, wait. I missed something. I missed something because it didn't say congratulations. Oh, there it is. Yay. 45 minutes. The joy of the mind is the measure of its strength. That's interesting. Well, my mind is pretty joyful right now. So I guess my brain, she is strong. Well, I hope you had a nice lunch or whatever you did while this puzzle was playing. Maybe you used it to go to sleep. In any case, again, thank you to Crazy Dad. And please support him and enjoy your joyful mind. Until next time. Thanks. See ya.